You are watching a WFMY Plus weather impact alert update. Severe storms are moving into the Triad. You can see coming through Moxville and into Winston-Salem at the moment. This is a live look at the radar right now. They are fast moving storms, and we're talking about their impact on the morning commute. Thanks for watching. I'm Megan Malaris. Strong winds are a part of this system passing through, and the system will bring some heavy rain and possibly some severe thunderstorms these next few hours. This is a live look at Augusta, Georgia, where so far it's okay there. Christian confirming nothing severe at the moment, but you can see roads are slick with this rain from this system and a cloudy morning for commuters. Closer to home, the storm still inching its way to our area. This is a live look at Burlington this morning. So this will be coming for Burlington in a few minutes if this storm continues to track west to east as it's doing right now. Our meteorologists are keeping a close eye on this. Meteorologist Christian Morgan and meteorologist Ed Matthews hard at work all morning. So we are talking about a watch that is now in effect for our area.
That's right. A tornado watch has been issued until 1 o'clock for part of our viewing area. So we have the tornado watch now, and we have several severe thunderstorm warnings in our viewing area. Christian is tracking that and tracking radar, and he will have that update coming up in just a minute. Don't forget, we have a weather impact alert day for today. Still looking as though the thunderstorms moving through and intensifying this morning are pretty much on time. We think they'll move on east of our area after lunchtime. These are moving pretty quickly to the east, damaging straight line winds with any severe storms. Certainly a possibility. When a warning, severe thunderstorm warning is issued, that implies that winds may be upwards or even higher than 60 miles per hour. Low tornado risk, but again, with that tornado watch that is now in effect until 1 o'clock, we've got to be mindful that any moment we could see a tornado warning issued for our area. Just a watch right now, but we'll be watching for warnings, and hopefully you've already done this, charged up your battery operated devices. Now, again, line of storms moving through the area right now, pretty much on time with what we're forecasting. Damaging straight line winds and the possibility of a tornado warning that could be issued at any time. But even after these storms pass east of our area during early afternoon, we're still going to have to deal with gusty winds. When the line of storms move through, easily wind gusts 40-45 miles per hour. But as we head through the rest of the day and into the evening around 7 o'clock, we could still see wind gusts around 30-35 miles per hour or higher. So certainly, hopefully you've already done this. You've secured objects around your home. And we think that is the greatest threat now, is the area-wide wind gust of 35 to 45 miles per hour. Hail impact is low, and the tornado risk is still low, but again, that's something that we're paying much more attention to now that we have our watch that has been issued until 1 o'clock. Now, warm front has moved north of our area. The cold front to our west, it won't move through until this evening, but the line of storms moving through our area now, moving through the Metro Triad, and will continue to track on into eastern North Carolina as we go through the afternoon and evening. Once this front moves through, a quieter weather pattern, but we're going to remain windy overnight tonight and during the day tomorrow. Pressure gradient from the departing front, and also high pressure building in from the south. So for today, we're in the middle of it right now. Storms around, some severe and quite windy all day, mid-60s. It'll be clear tonight. Now, Christian standing by. He's going to have the very latest on the watches and warnings and a close eye on radar. Christian?
Yeah, thanks, Ed. Let me show you that watch we were just telling you about. This is a new tornado watch, not a warning, but a watch in effect through 1 o'clock this afternoon. I will tell you, these usually get canceled as that line progresses and moves away. So I think we'll see these counties trimmed out earlier. We'll then see the immediate Triad counties trimmed out, likely earlier than 1 o'clock. But right now we're under the gun. A tornado watch just means that conditions are right for tornadoes to form. We have that line of storms that's organizing, strengthening over our area, and it could produce a tornado. tornado over the next couple hours. So that's why we're under that watch. In the meantime, let me show you what's going on. Here's that line that we're talking about. And really over the last hour since we were with you on Plus, we've seen this starting to evolve, seen it starting to organize. And now you see pretty much the entire line has a severe thunderstorm warning or severe thunderstorm warnings along it. That just means it could be producing those damaging wind gusts that we've been talking about in excess of 60 miles an hour for some folks. Now, a couple of things I want you to notice as I move in here and switch over to the velocity meter. This shows us how winds are moving, how strong they are, and if they're rotating. And what I want to point out that you probably see this bowing segment that we call it, or this area of wind that's kind of sticking out here in Mocksville, where these blues and greens are starting to mix. That's showing us where this storm could be trying to spin or trying to rotate. So I've been watching this pretty closely over the last 30 minutes or so. It doesn't look very strong right now. Obviously not strong enough for a tornado warning to be issued, but just know this storm is trying to spin. So as it moves toward Arcadia, Lexington, Cotton Grove, and eventually reaches High Point, other parts of Randolph County, this is one that we'll be watching pretty closely. On the other side of things, we'll go down near Charlotte area, and you'll notice the other segment of this line is also really strong. Not only is this extremely heavy rain, this is like car wash style rain, blinding rain with gusty winds. This could also be producing those 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And one thing you'll notice if you get these warnings on your phone, it may say that a tornado is possible. That means that the storm is trying to spin and is trying to rotate. So it may not be long before there's a warning issued on that storm if it continues. That's kind of what we're watching for today as that line is pushing through. I will tell you, level 2 risk for our entire area today in the immediate triad. From the triad and east, those folks are in a level 3 risk for severe weather today. That doesn't necessarily mean the weather's going to be worse there. It just means there's a higher likelihood that severe weather happens in those areas that are shaded in orange. So we're watching closely. Strong cold front on the way, and what we mean by strong is that there's a ton of wind energy with this storm. So even outside of thunderstorms and even outside of this line, winds will stay gusty all day long. And it may be enough, 30 to 40 mile per hour winds that could bring down some trees and cause some scattered power outages. We'll stay windy overnight and into our Thursday. But tomorrow's a much better day of weather with sunshine back. It's still windy and much cooler. Here's a closer look as that line pushes through the mountains, actually running probably about 30 minutes to an hour ahead of what our model is leading on to. And a lot of times that happens. They pick up speed as they really intensify. So this is pushing through the heart of the triad really over the next hour or two. And then I think after 10 o'clock, it's going to be east of our area, moving over toward the Raleigh and Durham areas. So something to be mindful of. Want you paying attention at least through about lunchtime right now. And then things get a little quieter for the afternoon. Here's your be ready times. We're already in that 8 o'clock window through 11 here in the immediate triad, 10 a.m. to 1 east of the immediate triad. So that would be folks in Alamance County, Caswell County as well, Orange County down toward the Raleigh area. You're going to be on the later side of that 1 o'clock timing. So just something to keep in the back of your mind as we go through the next couple of hours. Again, wind is our main concern today. Low risk of a tornado. That's why we have that tornado watch out. And again, those high winds could cause some scattered power outages across the area. As we move into the afternoon, we're still going to be warm, mid-60s, still windy, but I do think we have some sunshine back. The one thing that we'll have to watch is for a couple of more showers or storms to pop up as we go into the late afternoon and early evening. It's a lot less likely and harder to do, but it's still a possibility as we move into the afternoon. So we'll keep watch on it for you. There's your Thursday, windy and much cooler, but the sun is back with low 50s, upper 50s for Friday. We'll climb into the mid 60s again for the weekend. Hey, don't forget we spring forward 1 hour on Saturday night before bedtime. Daylight saving time begins on Sunday. Cooler with some clouds and a rain chance for Sunday. We're drier and warmer back up near 70 early next week. Meg.
With the storm continuing to move to our area, the winds have really started picking up. So Ed, how long are we set to have these strong gusts today?
Well, we're going to deal with windy conditions throughout the day and again tomorrow. But Megan, I think the strongest winds will be associated with the storms that are moving through our area now over the next 2 or 3 hours. And in this line of thunderstorms, we could see wind gusts 40, 45 miles per hour. But if your particular area is placed in a severe thunderstorm warning, that means part of the definition of a severe thunderstorm warning is the fact that winds are maybe above 60 miles per hour. So right now and over the next several hours will be the strongest winds, but the environmental winds, and I talk about environmental winds, we're talking about the winds spread out over a larger geographical area, including all of our viewing area in Southern Virginia and North Carolina. Even through the afternoon and early evening, wind gusts anywhere from 30, 35 miles per hour or higher. And even tomorrow, when the sun pops back out, as this system departs and high pressure builds in, a little pressure gradient or pressure difference, that's going to keep the winds gusting around 30, 35 miles per hour into Thursday.
All right, well, temperatures, if you've been outside maybe with the dog this morning, you've noticed they've dropped a little bit. Christian, can you explain why this storm has such a cold front with it?
Well, you know, it's a really strong cold front. We've been talking about that for the last couple of days. And it's really not so much the cold air that's going to be behind this tomorrow. It's really about the wind energy with this system. And that's why we're talking about winds being an issue all day long, not necessarily just with this storm. It's gusty all day. There's tons of wind energy up above our heads. And a lot of times when we have thunderstorms like this, it can bring those strong winds down to the ground. So that's why we're concerned with 40 to 45, maybe higher gusts than that with the storms actually coming through. But even outside of that, Megan, once this line gets through us, we're going to still see gusts 30 to maybe 40 miles an hour through the afternoon, and we'll still be windy 25 to 30 miles per hour tomorrow. So it's not the fact that it's going to bring such colder weather with it. It really is just the dynamics and the wind that we already have with the system.
All right, so this tornado threat obviously is top of mind for a lot of folks. We know buses are heading out. Right now, schools in our area operating as normal so far, and we hope that children get to school safely. What kind of a time frame do you think we're in where the threat is over for good today?
Well, I think for us, I think the threat will be over probably over the next 3 or 4 hours. Now, the tornado watch, and it's just a watch right now. That's what we're doing, is we're watching things, waiting for the possibility of a warning, and that's when you really need to start taking action. We think these storms moving through rather quickly through our area now will be east of the Triad, maybe even before lunchtime, because Christian alluded to earlier that the actual storms on the live radar are moving through quicker than what we had seen on our forecast models. And that's a good thing. Let's get it through here and get it out of here, and then we'll just deal with the environmental wind. So I think by noon, certainly by 1 o'clock, this is pretty much over with for the Triad, at least the severe weather threat.
Yeah, we are ironically in severe weather preparedness week. Actually, a good reminder for us to get prepared. We know that statewide tornado drill is on Friday. Let's talk about anything else coming with this system today. What about hail? Do we need to be moving our cars into garages or finding parking decks if we're out and about?
Well, you know, hail's at least a low concern. I'm not going to say it's zero, but it's not our highest concern. I would say kind of the way we're broken down today is damaging wind, our main concern. Tornado would be a low concern, and then after that comes hail. Not obviously worried about any flooding today. This is then and out of here pretty quickly, but hail is a possibility. It's just not one of those things that we're really focusing on for today.